Hey, Doug here. So for the collection today, I have a gas pump nozzle. So normally it would have this black housing on it. And this is the human interface for a gas pump. So this is one of those objects that we're all familiar with, but not familiar with how they operate, which I think would be a really cool video series. So let me know if you're interested in that. And I'm in the middle of refurbishing it. As you can see, I got it all polished up. I ran it through the blaster, got it all cleaned and polished, got the plastic refurbished. I'll post the before pictures below. It was obviously not looking like this when I got it. This was $6 on eBay, believe it or not. And I didn't realize you could just buy a gas pump nozzle, which is kind of cool. This one, I'll post a picture with the tag light before I blasted it. It expired 2023, so that's probably why they decommissioned it, because they can only be set up for metering for so long and they wear out or become no longer safe. But these are amazing feats of engineering the way they operate, because the gas comes in and somehow it knows how to shut off when your tank's full. And if you were to leave it engaged with the little flapper down and it shut off and you put it back in the pump and then someone comes along and turns the pump back on, it won't come out. It has to wait for you to reset it to do it again. Well, as I was refurbishing and taking it apart, I learned some cool things. I want to share them with you. So enough talking, let's show you. So normally this cap would be in place. There'd be this snap ring over top like so, and then there'd be another cap over top of this hole. So what I'm going to do is just walk you through where the gas goes and how it starts. So normally the pump is sitting depressurized, so there's no pressure here. So whenever you pull this, nothing happens. So let me simulate that here. So you pull that, nothing happens. Now when pressure comes in, when the pump turns on, when you pay for it, and gas pressurizes into this, it comes under this little diaphragm here, and it pushes up on this little pin inside here. That goes through this smaller diaphragm. So when there's pressure available, it pushes up on that, which causes this diaphragm to lift up. So we're going to get into the operation of this diaphragm first, but let's talk about the operation. When that lifts up, this chunk of steel here lifts up out of this recess. Inside that recess are 3 small holes that those 3 ball bearings live inside of. So whenever the piston is down, those ball bearings get pushed out, kind of like the weight on a weight set for a gym, and it keeps this from moving down. Why is that important? Well, that is the lower pivot for the handle. So there are actually 2 pivot points. You can see one here and one here. So I'm going to pretend to be the gas pressure pushing down on this nozzle here, and you can see how it pushes that white piece down. Well, I'm going to artificially hold that in place, and when I do that, it causes the piston inside here to lift up. That won't normally lift if this can float freely over here, like so. It's kind of hard to do this one-handed. So normally on top of this rod here would be this rubber piston, like so, and that would sit facing down, sealing off that hole, preventing gas from the handle here going down through here and then out to the nozzle. So you squeeze on that, but you can only squeeze it once there's pressure there. So you now have pressure, that allows you to lift up on that, and there is this giant spring that lives on top of that to give you counter pressure. And then this lid lives on top of that spring that pushes it down to seal it into place. So you've now managed to engage it. It's pumping, gas is flowing out. How does it know when to stop? Well, if you notice on modern nozzles, you'll see a small hole near the tip. There's only the one there. And inside the tip, there's like a little black tube that runs up. Well, let me take that apart and show you inside. That is the sense tube, as they call it in the industry, which comes up through the center here. So this is a little coaxial connection. And that's the sense tube that connects to that hole. Now, no gas flows through that line. And if we look in here, which was a fun thing to clean, you'll see another little orifice that hose connects to, and then runs up through to this hole on top here, which sits on top of this little diaphragm here. So when you're pumping gas, this restriction here where the gas comes around is a venturi. And when the gas gets forced down to that small vessel, it accelerates out, which causes a low pressure, which causes a vacuum to form. So it pulls a vacuum on the top side of this diaphragm here. Well, reason it can't form a full vacuum is because the other end is open with this tube down to your tank. So as you are filling your tank, the gas is slowly filling up inside your gas tank. And then once the gas gets to the point of this nozzle here, the fluid covers that hole instantaneously. That makes this vacuum seal, very briefly, because it's trying to suck fluid through a small nozzle with a lot of resistance. So it causes the vacuum to actually build on top of this diaphragm. What does that vacuum do? It lifts up on this diaphragm. Well, actually, technically, the pressure pushes it up. And when that, again, gets momentarily pushed up by that, it allows those ball bearings to fall into the hole, allowing that to pop down through. So like I said, this is being held up, and you're pumping pressure up through here. Well, the second that those ball bearings pop out, that drops down and allows the handle to release. I'm going to try to activate this. So I'm going to hold up on this. I'm pushing down on here like so. Oh, there we go. It released. But let's see if I can make this work one-handed, which is going to be fun. So I may not be able to get this to work. So I'm going to try pushing on this, and then I'm going to release this piece, and see how the handle released? This is what holds that safety in place. So anytime that nozzle gets blocked for any reason because of the fluid or it's not sitting in your tank right, that causes this to trip out, causing it to shut off. Now, why will it not reflow again? Well, we talked about this little diaphragm here. You have this thing closed. Notice I'm not actually opening the valve inside. It's not allowing me because this hasn't tripped. This has to fully reset for this pressure thing to reset it to allow you to pull the trigger again, which is a genius design. So I'm gonna go ahead and reassemble this. This will all be hidden, but if you want me to do a cutaway, slice into this and expose these innards on how it works, because I'm never gonna use it as a gas nozzle, it's just gonna be a wall hanger, let me know. I'll cut it up, polish up the inside so you can see the operation of it. Or do you want me to try to run it with some water and try to show the operation of how it works with water running through it? Again, I'm open to your suggestions. Feel free to let me know. As of now, I'm just going to reassemble it and put it on display. But I appreciate you guys hanging into this video, and hopefully now you think more about the amazing engineering that goes into pumping your gas. Thanks for watching.